Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. My name is the Bitsy9 and we are playing Mizuchi today. I got a code for it and we're gonna check out what it's all about, right? As we do. No scratch. Is this... It's manual language. Well, let's do this. That's what I feared. It's reading time for me. Where am I? My eyes open to darkness. The ground is rough against my cheek. Every scrape only makes me even more acutely aware of the strip of cloth tied over my eyes. It's really cold here. I hate the cold. My arms are numb. Trying to move them, I realize it's not just that my arms are pinned behind me. With my limited range of movement, grasping around whatever I can reach only reveals rope, dirt, and disappointment. And a muddy wall behind me. Where am I? I try to scream for help, but only manage a small, hoarse cough. My throat tightens as if a weight sits heavily on it. I wouldn't do that if I were you. The voice almost makes the ground rumble around me. It might scare them. Leaves rustle around me, the sound whispering up from the darkness. What is that? Hiss. The sound emanating from my surroundings makes my body freeze. It's the snake pit. Why am I here? I'm going to die. Nobody's ever managed to come back from this. I squeeze my eyes shut as tears start to well up behind them. So many frantic thoughts racing through my head. No one will save you but yourself. A clear voice pierces through my panic and prayers. It's a feminine voice? I struggle around trying to right myself, hitting my head against the wall in the process. Who are you? My voice comes out raspy. You're savior. Or not. Angling around, I try to find the direction the voice is coming from and face it properly. You don't sound like anyone I know. Are you visiting my village? One could say that. I have not been here long since dropping by. I did manage to sneak down here after I saw you being thrown in. I don't understand. What's going on? Do you remember what happened today? No. The day I was born, the name bestowed upon me was M. When I finally grew old enough to know better, I realized my name wasn't a real name at all. It meant more. A word representing my father's disappointment. His want for more boys to be born in our family. 5 daughters and the single eldest son weren't enough for him. From that point on, I decided to give myself my own name. I named myself Lynn? Okay. No, I like it. What? Let me blow my nose. Tough to read when you're sick. Sorry about that. Lynn. Sunlight streams into my room and batters my eyelids, waking me up. Early bird gets the worm, that's not you. The sound of laughter pierces through my sleepiness as my sister scampers by, tapping on the window as she goes. She's already took off to work, unlike me. As I rub the sleep from my eyes, pangs of hunger emerge from my belly. Ugh. A big sigh escapes from me and I roll myself out of bed. I better look for breakfast first. A quick prayer at the family altar before heading out. May the serpent god protect me and my family. What a beautiful day. I greet a few villagers before sneaking into the back ways. Quickly and quietly moving between the yards, I sneak glances at people's trees, scanning them for any signs of fruit peeking out behind the leaves. And then I spy a dark purple fruit, even hiding itself behind the tree it can't hide from my eyes. Ah! A mangosteen. My mouth starts watering when I think about its sweet and sour white inner flesh. But then I remember the sticky juice staining my fingers, later causing me to get caught red-handed. Or purple-handed in this case. My fingers begin to tremble as I think about the last stick beating I'd received. Whoa. Better find the next best option. I take a few glances at the main house before climbing up the tree as quickly as I can. My hand swiftly snags the largest and ripest looking green fruit. 1, 2, and that's 3 guavas. The moment my feet hit the ground, I kick off into a mad dash. You again! Get back here! A rock grazes my ankle, but it only makes me run faster. I alternate between breathing and biting and swallowing, spitting out the seeds with practiced efficiency as I race away. Never leave behind any evidence. Once I'm a fair distance away, I hide myself high in a tree, then rub at my aching ankle. I guess I kinda deserve it, but I can't help it. I wait out the commotion while eating the remaining fruit. After a while, the noise quiets down in the distance. I finally deem it safe to return home. I better get to work now. But don't I know who you are anyway? Yeah. My hands fly up in defense as the chicken I unknowingly landed next to rears up, squawking. Looks like it's just as startled as I am. The neighbor's chickens are out again. I poke around, trying to find the chicken, so I can bring it back, but it sure ran away quickly. Well, it might have run home. My eyes lock onto a round, brown shape hiding in a nook of a tree next to me. What a lucky day! A proper breakfast for once. I admire the egg by placing it in the view of the sun rays. It gives off a nice glow. I pass the egg back and forth between my hands. What a turn of events! A weird rustling comes from somewhere above my head, followed by a blur of white crashing into the bushes. I really should contain my curiosity, but before I've even finished that thought, my feet have already begun carrying me in the direction I thought I saw it fall. What the... A gorgeous white serpent, streaming crimson blood from the deep claw marks raked across its body. Is there, Oh, that's going back. Just wondering if there's a way to... remove the HUD. It's not. To keep a safe distance from the creature, knowing it can be dangerous, dead or alive. Its tongue slithers in and out of its mouth, slowly. Still struggling to survive, just like the rest of us. All I can feel is pity for the poor thing. I kneel and say a small prayer. I wish you eternal peace. Leaving the egg in front of the serpent, I give it a deep bow. May the serpent god protect us. Gotta get going before Mom gets worried. I could never have imagined the fate that awaited me there. There's a huge crowd milling around my home. Are those the elders' voices? The voices draw me toward a group of male elders, all of them crowd around the front of the house. At the center of it all is my father, with a rare but very pleased look on his face. I feel a pit beginning to form in my gut. I opt to make my way around to the side door in the hopes of not being spotted. But a number of the village girls are peeking into our side window, trading spots for a glance at someone inside. What's going on? Lynn! Sorry. I should stop sneaking up on everything. You came home. Did you just come back from work? Yeah, so why is everyone gathering around my house? Aren't you excited? About what? The boys have finally come home. Marriage proposals are happening left and right. Marriage? Which of my sisters is getting married? As I squint into the window, I see a figure kneeling in prayer at the family altar. Huh? And he runs toward me, a broad smile stretching across his features almost ear to ear. Welcome home. Haha, I should be the one telling you that. I hop in through the window to greet him properly. Don't you go through the window like some hussy, you hear me? My father's voice booms from the other room. Yes, father, I apologize. Close the window. And you need to speak privately. I'll talk to you later. Yes, father. Be sure to let us know the good news. Girls can't stop giggling as I shoo them away and shut the window. So, how long has it been? Too long. I only wish the war were truly over instead of the standstill. I nod in agreement. Like a lot of villages, ours had lost a lot of boys to the king's conquest. Not many of them return. Some do, but not quite the same as before they left us. Did Anne change like them? Let me have a good look at you. He looks taller than I remembered. His shoulders are broader, and he stands with confidence. Still skinny as a twig, I see. They don't feed you in the army? Only sometimes. Really? His eyes divert to the floor. Ah yes, this is the shy Anne that I remember best. You have something you want to say? Yes, about that. I would like to, He's playing with the back of his hair as I study him curiously. I wanted to give you this. Taking out a cloth-wrapped package from somewhere, and trusts it in front of me. Thank you, how very kind of you. I give him a polite nod, placing it carefully on the side table. Please open it. That's polite. Where did your manners go? I insist. I eye him a bit suspiciously, but eventually comply. I unwrap the cloth slowly to find a beautiful fabric underneath, and within that, a roll of coins is tucked inside. My eyes count each coin, and then again because this is almost a month's worth of money. Why would you give this to me? Why not? We're getting married. What? I don't know what to say. Me? Who would want to marry someone like me? The silence seems to have made An anxious as he's now shuffling his feet. I think that should be more than enough to get a new outfit made for you. He beams. Could it be he still remembers how much I'd hated my sister's hand-me-downs? I feel ashamed and pull at my tattered dress. I know I'm not what you'd expect, but I think we'd be happy together. Your parents have already given me their blessing and are pleased with our future union. Anne gives me one of his familiar childish grins, reaching out to me with his hand. This is the best thing for me, right? I promise to take care of you from now on. My hand closes into his. This is for the best, right? He looks closely at my face, waiting for my response. I give him one of the best smiles I can muster. May we be filled with eternal happiness. The words are an empty recitation as they leave my lips. May we be filled with eternal happiness. The day goes by in a blur. My sisters go on a shopping trip with the extra money, buying little bits of jewelry and trinkets for themselves. Hey! What? We're going to have a wonderful feast to celebrate your engagement. It's going to be so much fun. Ah. Now I'm alone, stuck in a room and waiting for my measurements to be done and cloth fitted to me. My stomach grumbles and I can only let out a soft sigh. Patience, patience. Find something to distract yourself. Without much else to focus on, my ears pick up the latest gossip around me. Ken has grown up into quite a fine man, hasn't he? He was so fragile years ago. All the boys used to pick on him too. But look at him now, absolutely handsome. Linda's so fortunate to be picked by him. Any girl would love to be in her position right now. Grateful, grateful. I can't shake this nagging feeling that plagues me. Ken is a good person. We always got along really well. He will be a kind husband. We'll live in a nice home and own things I could never imagine. I won't have to steal anymore. No more hunger, no more pain. My thoughts drift away as the beautiful cloth takes shape before my eyes. Oh, I am covering the character portrait. I had looked, but I looked when there was no portrait. Ah, keep all my nose again. Ah. Is this a new design? It sure doesn't resemble anything else I've seen in our village. Yes, Anne requested a different style for your dress and paid for extra fabric to work with. Do you like it? I have to admit, I am enjoying this part at least. My clothes seem to dazzle in the mirror. Yes, it's beautiful. Thank you so much. This is mine. Only mine. My fingers traced the pattern on my dress. No holes, no tears. The sun is about to set and the dress is now ready. Can't stop a smile from blooming across my face. Made just for me. Spinning around in front of the mirror, the cotton fabric is much to admire. The silk is soft and fits snugly, but still allows me to move comfortably. Is this the start of my new future? This can't be real. I slapped both of my cheeks forcefully. Ow. A sting of pain blooms where my hands smack my face. I need to stop considering such silly nonsense. I let out a huge sigh. I really need to have a proper talk with him. As I walk through the village, the villagers turn their heads towards me. The gazes that follow me are a mix of surprise and pleased, with the occasional person seeming to be at a loss. My pace quickens as I feel unnerved by the extra set of attention. Fine on, fine on. Hey Lynn, where are you heading off to? My eyes fixed to the ground as I walk, I don't notice when I nearly bump into someone. One of the village elders is staring at me. Good evening, sir. May your health be well. I give a full bow to show my respect. Hope your parents are well. Yes, they are, thank you. Where are you going at this time? I'm looking for Aunt. I thought he was around here with the other men for the engagement celebrations. Ah, of course. I believe I last saw your fiancé at the gambling hut. He strokes his beard as if in deep thought. You better hurry, though. You know you aren't supposed to stay out alone past dark. Of course. I'll be sure to find him quickly. May the serpent god protect you and your family. May the serpent god protect you and your family. I respectfully bow once more before continuing on my way. Rounding the corner, I'm just in time to catch a glimpse of Anne's distinctive uniform ducking into a back way. I guess he finished gambling? Huh? Um, I run to the area but can't find him. I guess he didn't hear me. It's difficult to make things out in the back way now that it's nighttime. The shadows at the end of the alley fade somewhat as the moon peeks through the clouds. Ah, it's the elf moon. I can see why the men went gambling. Everyone's so superstitious. I'm sure Dad is there too. I sigh and rub my temples. At least I won't have to worry about him gambling our money away anymore. Feeling my way down the alley with my hand, I step forward slowly toward the light. Well, I don't have to worry about my dad gambling our money away anymore, because my husband will do that instead. The fear churning my gut deepens. I need to find him. Shh. Rushing in the direction of the nostalgic laughter, I find... Huh? Try to keep silent and saw down my gasp at the stranger and both see me as the stranger. What? Anne looks shocked. The stranger is grinning. My head jerks around as an unknown voice drifts from around the corner. Is that you, Lynn? I was asked by the elders to walk you home. If I happen to come across you, did you find Anne? Another elder is speaking to me from around the corner. Spinning back to look, I realize Anne has disappeared from sight, and that the stranger has closed the distance between us. He towers over me, his intense stare causing me to freeze in place. I turn to reply to the villager, but before I can make a sound, the stranger grabs my face and pulls me towards him. I can barely make out his words under the thick, broken accent. Stay quiet, or else family. He slides his finger across my throat. Lynn, what's with you? Do you think to play hide and seek with me? You witch! How could you do this to your fiancé? He grabs me by the hair and wrenches me to the floor. My head hits the ground and I can't help a small heave from the pain. I can explain, I don't... Shut up! Such dishonorable, disgusting conduct. You are an embarrassment to your family. I did no such thing! He slaps my face hard. You stay quiet until you are spoken to. And you, aren't you Anne's friend? The man shrugs his shoulders and tilts his head sluggishly. Fun? He breaks out into a silly laugh, emulating a stupid drunkard. I'm petrified. Where can I run? Where? My eyes dart back and forth, searching for an escape route. Trees! Trees! Doom and dread settles over me, wrapping around my body like the dress I'd just been so happy about. My legs feel like heavy sacks unable to move. I know better. There is nowhere to go. Even if they don't find me or my family. My gaze drops to the ground. Fear and anger start to roil up inside me, and I bite the inside of my cheek in order to... What? Stop myself from screaming or crying? From letting my fear show on my face? I don't even know. There's only one thing that's certain right now. I can only await my fate. Other villagers arrive, and soon enough an uproar of mostly male shouting forms around me. It was decided that I'd be made an example out of for my presumed unfaithfulness. I shouldn't have been expecting anything else, though. Someone like me. My voice has never had value to them even once. They parade me through town for my shame. Jeering, shouting, horrible names and insults, and even some rocks pelt me from the crowd. Blindfolded as I am, I can only walk slowly, forced to rely on the man in front of me to be my guide. I stumble a few times when rocks land at my ankles or the path right ahead. At some point, someone aims a kick at my knees as well. The ensuing fall is just one more injury. I don't even know which part of me hurts the most right now. That escalated quickly. All I can do is keep replaying tonight's events in my head behind the darkness of the blindfold. Please, someone, anyone, help me. Finally, the uproar quiets. Wherever I am now is a floor, and I bite back tears as I'm forced to kneel. Stay here, stay quiet. The sound of arguing echoes through the walls. It must be a small room. Maybe in an elder's home or some unused storehouse. My hands are free, but I'm too afraid to take off my blindfold. What will they do to me? The penalty for committing adultery is. In the absence of everyone's jeers and shouts, my own thoughts start to scream. Tears finally form and soon soak the fabric. I don't want to be stoned. I don't want to die. The door? My body tenses up. What do I do? Please, just let me go. Whoever it is, they're so quiet I can barely make out their words. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. Anne, is that you? Takes the blindfold off of me. My eyes take a while to adjust to the poorly lit room. I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I need you to trust me. We don't have time. What the heck? Forgiveness? Trust in him? Seeing his pitiful face, the fear and sadness that had been suffocating me finally explodes like the wick on a firecracker. How could you do this to me? My fists pound on his chest repeatedly. You're horrible. Me? You are the one that betrayed me. He shouts it in the direction of the door. Why am I being punished for your mistake? He covers my mouth forcefully and his voice drops. They're listening, and we don't have much time. I promise I'll save us both from this. That's not enough. You need to... So fast. You need to stop resisting. This will go faster. His arm around my neck tightens. Panic overcomes me, and I frantically pry and scratch at his arms to pry them off. Let go, let go, let go. His grip is undeterred. He's far stronger than I remember. Please, this won't hurt. Stop fighting. Between panic and shock, I dazedly realize my vision has gotten all blurry. Everything's going out of focus. Please trust me. Yeah, no. Stay strong, Lynn. That escalated really quickly and uncomfortably. Well, is it all coming back to you now? I arched my back, trying to bring my feet up to my hands to fight at the bindings. A sharp pain shoots up my leg. Must not cry. I grit my teeth through the pain as it wanes. How very pathetic. Her distant and unconcerned voice manages to ground me. The tension in my throat eases up enough that I can croak out a quiet reply. You said you were my savior? Maybe. I'm not sure I want to get involved quite yet. What are you talking about? You're probably lying and you're trapped down here with me. What did you... A brief whisk of air around me nips my face with a cold sting. What is she? You would do best not to anger me by comparing me to the likes of you. Why did you come down here then? You've piqued some interest in me. Pity, most likely. What do you want from me? I will be blunt. You have nothing of value to me. Now you're looking down at me? Should I not? You're a meager girl from a poor family with an inept father. Yep, definitely. You will not amount to anything like many of your low status. So what? We're all just trying to survive and make ends meet? Don't you dare look down on me. Perhaps I shouldn't have said... Surprisingly, my anger only elicits a chuckle from whoever else is in the pit with me. You got some might. That's good. I have a few questions before I make my decision. He doesn't let me argue. Why are you in a snake pit? I'm being tried for adultery. Oh, how scandalous. I'm innocent. Then why did they not allow you to speak your part of the story? We're not allowed to walk alone after the sun sets. I was stupid enough to go looking for my fiancé. Be caught with a male stranger. How ridiculous is that? And you said it yourself. What kind of value would my words have if my whole existence has none? I'm expecting her to laugh at my plight, but instead she remains quiet. How is the snake pit a trial? The usual penalty is to be stoned to death. The trial by snake pit is a request for judgment. Judgment by who? The snake god, of course. We pray to him for good health and fortune. He lives within the snakes around the village and in people's homes and helps protect us. A curious tradition. So you may survive. No one has ever survived this trial. They always get bitten and die within a day, 2 at most. He punishes us for our other indiscretions, after all. How absurd. If you're innocent as you claim, how was it that you came to be caught with another man? You didn't do anything. I found my fiancé and he was... Still haven't fully processed the events that led up to this point, much less the scene that started it all. Anne was in the arms of the other man. You saw what happened. Why don't you tell the elder that I'm innocent? You can save me. It is not my place to be involved. You do not claim to be my savior. Is my life only a joke to her? I cannot save you in that regard, but I will give you the choice to save yourself. What do you mean? In mere seconds the air around us grows extremely cold. She is definitely not human after all. I try my hardest not to tremble. Are you a demon? I have been called as such before. Now, do you wish to hear my proposal? I hesitate, but slowly nod. I can leave you to your fate, and perhaps your god will save you. Or, in exchange for saving you... My arms are suddenly free. The rope falls apart around my feet. Who was that? Focus on me. I'm scared. You can decide once you take off the blindfold. I give you my word that I will not do you any harm. My fingers find the fabric. With shaking hands, I slowly remove it. Aren't you the white serpent from before? Oh snap, did you beat Dynasty Warriors? No, it was taking a little too long and I didn't want to make the decision to betray one of my friends. How's it going, Sign? Like, you have to pick a route. There's 3 routes. And I wanted to do all of them, but technically none of them. Like, just give me the canon historical facts. Yes. Now, make your choice, human. What shall it be? Pray for your fate or give yourself to me. What are the trophies like in this? Oh, this list doesn't exist yet. I don't understand these trophies at all. I have no choice but to do as you wish. I stare at the serpent straight in the eyes. The thick fog begins to materialize around us. He must be a real demon. What have I done? My knees tremble and give way. I will determine your fate. The snake rears back in what seems to be a striking position. You shall close your eyes. Your time for judgment is at hand. Don't feel free to close them. Close your eyes, human. Now! Because I can, Melty. Because I can. How are you? But I made my choice, and after all, I can only comply. Hello, Echo. How are you? Keep them closed no matter what. A sharp pain stabs my throat. Burning sensations erupt through my body, and I can't hold back the screams. I fight back the urge to open my eyes. I can't hear anything. I can't feel anything anymore. Am I dead? First blindfolded, then told not to open my eyes, and now my face is covered with my hands. I don't think I can handle seeing what is probably hell. After laying there for what seemed like an eternity, though I don't think hell is supposed to sound like crickets. It might. Better take a look. The room is so different. I reach out and touch the floor, waiting to let my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room. I saw you were streaming like 1 minute before I started my stream, so I didn't stop by. Actually, I don't know if you were streaming. I saw the email saying you started the stream, but I only saw it when I went to start my own. The floor lacks even a single speck of dust or dirt. It's made of durable padding of some kind of material. I've never seen it before. As my awareness gradually comes back, I find myself lying on soft bedding and covered with a blanket. How did it go? This isn't my village or home. Where am I? Only when I spot the door leaning outside do I notice a dark shadow lurking next to it. Trying to find my voice and strength, I yell at the creature with as much fierceness as I can muster. Show yourself! That may not be wise. You will not be able to handle me quite yet. Scrambling around with my hands, I can't find anything I can use to protect myself. Although the being is yet to budge from her spot across the room as I panic. Was streaming wrapped up shortly after your climb? How did it go? Maybe she doesn't want to hurt me. Where am I? My home. Who are you? Or should I be asking, what are you? Now that I think about it, the voice sounds vaguely familiar. Are you the White Serpent? Indeed, it is one of my many forms. Many? So you are a shapeshifter demon? Why do humans assume anything that you do not understand is something dark and sinister? Her sarcastic tone hints at frustration. Better watch how I say things. I saved your life and this is how you give thanks? Ungrateful, a lot of you. Wait a minute. She saved me and she is a snake. Could it be... Are you by chance the snake god? I mean, goddess? Something like that. Pretty good. I need to look into more Lego sets once I get my tax return. Nice. Post pics of the set on Discord? Okay. Dropping immediately to a kneeling position, my forehead touches the floor with a nearly audible thud. To beg for your forgiveness, I am but a humble servant and did not mean to show you any disrespect. I hope she's not upset with me. Stop all that nonsense. As long as you live here, we shall see each other eye to eye. No need to prostrate yourself any further. I sincerely apologize for all the ways I have offended you. I did not know I was to be saved by your good grace and moral judgment. Enough of this. Stand, human. Stand as straight-backed and respectfully as possible. But can't hide a momentary wince. I set my teeth and grit through the pain coursing down my leg. One of those rocks must have gotten me good. I hadn't realized you'd received such an injury. The goddess slithers to me, her shape and form gradually become clearer. Fear consumes me. Why, is she cute? I stagger back unconsciously. What is she? You are afraid of me, as I thought. She seems upset now, but if anything, then I hurt her feelings. I apologize once again. I do not wish to upset or offend you. No, I should apologize. This form is far more intimidating than I recalled. You may look away if you fear me. I will not be insulted. She looks at my ankle and makes a miffed expression. Sit down and give me your foot. I comply. I'm entirely at her mercy right now. As you wish. I do as I'm told immediately, afraid to upset her further. She inspects my foot carefully. I grate my teeth and hold still, trying to ignore the pain as she prods at it. You will need to close your eyes now. As you wish. Familiar pain stabs into my ankle before dissipating into an afterburn. Huh? I shift and crawl backwards out of reflex, only realizing I'd put distance between me and the serpent when my back hits the wall behind me. My hands fly up to my throat. Yesterday's happenings in the snake pit coming back. I touch around the area, expecting to find some type of bruise or bite marks, but instead find nothing. My fingers come back perfectly clean. I glance at my foot. My ankle is no longer swollen and the pain is dissipated. She wipes her lips with the back of her hand, a mild look of displeasure crossing her face. Did I fail? Yeah. Okay. They don't want me to have a good thumbnail. Her tail twitches back and forth as if annoyed. As you have noticed, I have kept my word and done you no harm. I left you no scar, and you are fully healed. Thank you. You are too kind to me. I do not deserve your help or blessings. Indeed, you do not. Moving around too quickly, she accidentally bumps her shoulder into something and stares after it. What a bother. I try not to laugh by covering my mouth with my hands. She smiles for the first time. To answer your curiosity, I bit you the first time to mark you. What do you mean? You are now mine. You will give your body and soul to me to do as I please. Huh? She chose to release me from the pit, yet. You may speak freely. As I have said, we will speak as equals from this moment forward. Would you mind me asking you a question, then? I grow tired of your honorific speech. On with it. What do you plan to do with me? You will live here with me as my companion. Oh, I see. Maybe it's not so bad to be a servant of a goddess. You give me your word you will stay. It's not like I have much of a choice, though, huh? Yes. Good. You will also help me bear children, of course. Huh? What? Will that be a problem? We're both females, aren't we? Yes, it's perfectly normal to want to reproduce. This is the natural order of most living creatures. But it's not possible between two females. I've seen two female lizards able to procreate together. My mouth drops off open from shock. How should one take in this news? Best to pick my words carefully now. Yes, what you say is true, goddess, but as you have mentioned, they are both lizards, which I am not. You do make a valid point. I breathe out a sigh of relief. Do not worry, I will figure something out. Oof. We're getting some futanari here in here. Let me blow my nose. I see Cyan is very familiar with the term. Very excited. Do not grow fearful of me. I do not desire to harm you. No, goddess, not that at the moment. I'm just a little overwhelmed. Regain my composure, then refocus. This is too much to take in. Moments like these makes me wish that I was here. He's here in spirit. He wrote this game. Tro is the biggest Futanari fan I know. Yes, he does. You only have to read Tro's profile in Freedom Wars, remember that? This is your room now. You may do as you please. I will refrain from entering until permission is granted. My own room? You may explore any area on this premise, except the attic. Otherwise, you may move freely. My home is your home now. I don't know what to say. There is really too much to take in. I have made preparations for your meal as well. Oh, my first job, right. Would you like me to make it? Better give her a smile now. You know how to cook. Just lying here would be pretty bad, right? Better just tell her the truth, deal with her wrath. No, actually, my older sisters usually did all the cooking, so I never got to learn how. Stay out of the kitchen. I will manage. I really can't try. I insist. You only need to reside here for now, and do not break anything. Her stare diverts from me to the object on the ground as she tries to place it back on the shelf. She arranged it sideways. Yes, goddess. No more of that. If you are famished, there is something on the table for you. She turns to leave, but I stop her midway. I would like to know... How should I address you then? Oh, right. Humans like to use names. She looks like she's about to say something, but pauses. You may address me as I. I? Okay. What a peculiar name she has. Oh. My name is, Lynn, I know. Rest well. Did I tell her my name before? How do you... She leaves quickly and closes the sliding door. Well, now what to do? Aches and pains in my gut decide that for me straight away. Gosh, when have I last eaten anything? I drag myself over to the table to see what she left behind. Oh my gosh! No way! Perhaps she's a kind goddess after all. I squeeze on the center of fruit until a crack forms on its soft purple exterior. After a bit of peeling away, the segmented white flesh is easily exposed. The taste is astoundingly sweet, with just a hint of sour. We could never afford to eat this. Growing it was out of the question, not enough land. Pick out all the ripe ones and ravenously eat them one by one. My eyes start to water. Everything's getting blurry. Emotions rush over me. Thoughts race through my mind, everything that had happened repeating over and over. I should have just... Why didn't I? Feelings of regret overwhelm me. Mom, I'm sorry for everything. I barely saw you at all today. I didn't even get to... Tears burned behind my eyelids and then burst through in a flood. I cover my mouth to try and suppress my sobs. I cry for what feels like an eternity. Fatigue starts to settle in, making my body feel like a dead weight. Exhaustion seems to have overcome everything for the time being. Finally. I wish I could wake up from this nightmare. As I open my eyes for just a moment, nothing seems out of the ordinary. I can almost believe my mother is just in the next room doing housework. But then I remember where I am. This is not my home. I can no longer go back to my home, to my family. Which is a big plus. This is my prison. More of a reprieve. I pull the blanket over me and huddle underneath, wishing to disappear. Okay, I can't sleep anymore. Now that I think about it, I don't know how long I was out. Or what day it is, even. I begrudgingly get out of bed and reach for the door. After sliding the door open, I find myself in what seems to be the main room. There's a low table all set up with cushions underneath. This definitely doesn't look like anything I'm used to. Atop the table, a bowl of rice sits next to a pair of chopsticks. Food. Wait, focus. Reluctantly tearing my gaze from the fluffy bowl of rice, I scan my surroundings quickly, as if I were to escape, it would be through. You are free to make yourself comfortable. I will be out shortly. I shouts from a room adjacent to the one I'm presently in. My stomach lets out an audible protest. I won't get very far on an empty stomach, that's for sure. Didn't I tell her that I would stay? I sit down and admire the table set. Why would you even want to leave? I wonder how much this all is worth. The design of this bowl is gorgeous. I slithers out of the kitchen with a large covered pot balanced in a single hand. It is still hot, so be careful. I sets in front of me and I can only stare. I've never cooked before, but I think you may like it. You start with rice. She looks at me with a huge smile. The anticipation is making my nerves run high. Whatever happens, I'm gonna say it's delicious. I place my hand on the lid and pause. Eyes looking back at me with the pot eagerly. And the pot. Can't wait to try it. Take a breath before I lift the lid. A fragrant scent wafts up alongside the steam emanating from the pot. Partly hidden amongst the soup and vegetables lies a four-legged animal sans skin, head, and feet. Huh? Don't scream. It smells delicious. I sure hope it tastes that way too. Mind me asking exactly what exactly is it? It's meat, rabbit meat. Oh, I've never had rabbit before. It is pretty good, though I normally do not need to cook it. I just eat it whole, meat and all. Is that right? She gives me another wide smile full of pearly white teeth that are partially sharp from what I can tell. This is definitely waifu material. Those fangs. Have at it. With some hesitation, I pick up my chopsticks and make the less ominous-seeming choice of veggies first. Alright, you can do it. Just take a bite. I mean, she wouldn't try to poison me either. She wants a companion after all. Yep. Alright, enough pep talk. Time to dig in. The cabbage and potato have a slightly sweet hint that balances out the saltiness. This is actually really good. If I was smiling before, now she can only be described as beaming, and immediately sticks her hand into the pot. The rabbit is swiftly parted from one of its legs, which I then holds out in front of me. Take a bite. I'm a bit thrown off by her forwardness. It's just meat, it'll be fine. Probably? Okay. I tuck my hair back behind my ears, lean forward, and take a nibble of the meat. It's a little tangy, but it's otherwise sweet and savory with a tender texture. That is quite tasty. Is it really? She sells the meat with her tongue slightly stuck out before taking a bite of the leg herself. It tastes better raw. The entire leg disappears into her mouth in one whole piece. How's it going, Tro? I almost choke on what I was chewing. What do you really think? I doesn't seem to believe my earlier praises. Well, how's the reburning? Is this a test? Oh, you did? What are you doing now? This is very impressive if it's your first try. I mean, my first dish was never this well done. You really haven't cooked before? Gosh, that really came out well. I have not. I've only observed others prepare dishes on a number of occasions. How's whatever is happening here? It's interesting. I'm not sure yet. Just finished some Citizen Sleeper DLC last night, not sure what's next. Okay. There's DLC. Or is it Citizen Sleeper 2? No, that wouldn't have DLC, that's just... Like a glowing review? I mean, it's a visual novel, I'm still trying to figure out what's happening. Comes with the game, I guess it was original 3 episodes or something? Okay. You ever got around to the To the Moon episodes? You did them? What did you think? How long are they? She seems pretty pleased. If you don't mind me asking, why haven't you cooked before? You were interesting, provided some additional info on the characters. It took about an hour each. Okay. Is it like backstory? That sure you'd want to pay $5 for them? Okay. I'll wait for 50% off as usual. It's post-game, okay. So it's like an interlude before the next game, I guess. Which I have no recollection of what it's called. I have not always had hands for very long. Ai is staring at her hands as she makes grasping gestures. Huh? You're usually in snake form. Correct. You do not get to eat meat much, so I hope this was something you would have enjoyed. How does she know that? That's right, meat is quite expensive after all. So whenever you want meat, let me know. I will go hunting for you. The smile she gives me is big and sincere, though it's a little unnerving thanks to her imposing looks. Thank you. Does that mean I passed the test? Was it even a test? Maybe she can... Eat as much as you would like. I will be outside. Bye. Before I can say anything, she leaves quickly and closes all the doors. Yes, I remember now. I am her prisoner after all. Am I? What should I do? My stomach is trying to communicate with me. Right, I need to take care of myself first and foremost. Does she need to take a shit? I guess that's not the stomach. I push away the self-pitying thoughts. Instead, I pick up the rice bowl and aggressively tackle the dish. Even if it's just for a little while, I want to forget my circumstances. To my surprise, I finished most of the pot. Guess I was rather famished. The meat was wonderfully tender. If she had cut it up, it would have been a really perfect dish. How long have I been eating? She has yet to return. What do I do now? I make my way around the room, taking in the furniture and scrolls of paintings hanging on the walls. How pretty. Nothing else really stands out, besides the occasional thick layer of dust here and there. Well, I should return the dishes at the very least. I head towards the kitchen. Oh shit. Leftover ingredients are strewn all over the floor and countertop. In the corner, I notice a trail of rice spilling out of its pot. I end up picking up each grain and putting it back in before I stop myself. Old habits die hard, huh? Each grain was precious. Although small, they add up and make you slightly fuller than before. With so many of us, sometimes it was hard to know how much we'd get to eat next time. Thinking about it makes a wave of sadness overtake me. I miss my family. I have no idea why. Could I go back though? Would the villagers punish me instead? I can just sneak a look to see how everyone is. No one can catch me after all. My mood lifts and I feel emboldened. There's a small knife on the counter which I hide in my clothes. Doubt she'll notice. I really don't want to use it when I get out of here someday. Staring out of the window, I survey the landscape, try and find a way out. No fence. Good. Just make a run for it, and hopefully find my bearings home. A sudden noise outside has me reflexively ducking from the window. It's not the sound of steps, instead a familiar slither. She's still outside. Safe to head back. I need to plan my escape. I hate it when characters are stupid. Why are we behaving like this is a bad thing? Why is she behaving like this is a bad thing? Night came soon enough, and my anxiety only grew as time slipped by. There's still no sign of I. Can't make up my mind about staying or going. The potential consequences add up in my head. Turmoil and fear pounding each other until I'm no longer able to continue pacing. I start biting on the end of my thumb in an attempt to steady my nerves. I'm gonna blow my nose and sneeze more. I survived. It's the year of the visual novel. Dynasty Warriors had a lot of visual novel. I thought it was was incredible. Like, every time I looked at my statistics, I had as much playtime in fights as I had just outside of fights. And seriously, the way everyone talked, felt a little out of place. Dynasty Warriors. Like, every... It had more VN elements and people think it's a better game. I don't know. The gameplay in that game was amazing. I thought the map was unnecessary. The VN elements I was okay with, but the way everyone talked to me, it's like they wanted to fuck me. It felt so out of place. Like, every line you could just copy and paste to an eroge or an otome game, and it would fit. It was so weird. I start biting on the end of my thumb in an attempt to steady my nerves. What should I do? I should keep my word. However, I'm still not sure if that is the right thing to tell her. I know you're new to weeb content. That shit's pretty normal for a territory. I don't think so, actually. The bro talk between bros is not the same as I wanna fuck you. You know, I gave her my word, I would say, but this is all too much. Then why give me a choice? I just chose to keep my word. She'll most likely be offended that I'd rather not stay with her. Pacing around the room is all I can do to displace the anxious energy building up inside. Soon, nibbling on the tip of my thumbnail joins my circling. Yeah, that's my new ship. Absolutely not. I just need to find the right words to get her to let me go. Saying it out loud doesn't seem to help my courage one bit. My mounting anxiety is speaking. At this point, I feel terribly restless. I sneak over to the sliding door that leads to the outside. I should keep my word. Weird. Why even give me a choice? That's what I want to do. I want to stay. Because fuck you, I guess. Not a single familiar sound nor slither comes from outside. How odd. Playing the door open just enough to pop my head out, I glance side to side along a neat hallway. Nothing. Stepping out cautiously, the only sound comes from the hallway's floorboards, as they creak beneath my feet. When was the last romance VN you played? Like, all the way through? Maybe that zombie game? No, like Date Z? You remember that? You had... You forgot about that one? Yeah, the one you had 5 days before the apocalypse started and you needed, like, romance for the apocalypse so you can survive together. I really like that game. I'm really sorry I didn't platinum that game, but there was no guide for it, and I didn't understand how to do more. Because I really enjoyed it. I thought the story was super entertaining. The art was great. All the stuff that was happening was cool. I thought I tried everything. That's the point. I did so many playthroughs of it. I got all the good and bad endings for everyone. I think. I got the alone ending, so that's like 11 playthroughs at least. Then I did the true route. Uh, I I really don't understand how to do more of the stuff. Like some permutations in that game clearly require you to mix and match routes, but I don't understand how to get that specific permutation. So it is what it is. But I really, really enjoyed that game. It's probably one of the best um, visual novels I played last year, if not the best. I'm guessing there are no guides for this game. Well, it came out like 2 days ago, so probably not. Daisy. Date Z. I said last year. I didn't play Danganronpa last year. If not the best of last year. I don't put anything over Danganronpa. Yeah, probably the best I played. One of the best I played last year, if not the best. Now that still means what I meant. Wow, how beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. In front of me, small stream leads to a large tranquil pond. I'm gonna review the VOD. I'm just gonna blame Thro's poor pairing skills. As you should. He really does suck at it. Multiple types of trees, some in unique shapes, shade the lush landscape in a deliberate pattern. A number of flat stones line up, leading to a small stone bridge over the water. Around the pond's edge, short stone ornaments provide an elegant accent. Trevor, I need to ask you a question, and it's very important. Are you still there? Quite a lovely view, is it not? Yeah, it really is. Ah! I jumped back startled and a little afraid. Looking left and right, I still can't spot eye anywhere. Where are you? Take a look over the edge. Past the railing in front of me? As I look over, I see. Oh shit. She's also a mermaid? How beautiful. Well? Tro, I wanted to ask you. Do you know what futonari means? Beautiful, huh? She can read minds. What? I have no idea what you mean. Despite trying not to meet her eyes, I keep feeling as though my gaze is being drawn back. Oh, I'm glad you do know what it means. She definitely looks different, but still the same? David hasn't done the sniveling bad guy voice in a while. Well, Tro always complains about my voice acting. Do not just stand there. She waves me in, but I shake my head vehemently. I can't get in there. A sound both beautiful and serene weaves its way into my mind. The serenity spreads through my body, down to my hands and feet. Almost feeling like I'm in a dream, I feel my body move on its own, stepping over and into the water. It is. Ai is singing as I swim towards her. Her hand reaches out to me. My hand touches hers. Stop! Stop! Her arm holds me securely at the waist. The ethereal melody ceases. My body is back under my control. Stay calm. Do not flail. My hands cling to her arms tightly. Don't drop me! It is not as deep as you think. Here, stand up now. My legs straighten up, feet pushing downward randomly. My foot manages to find a flat enough rock at the bottom and I balance on it unsteadily. I'm still unable to let go of Ai's arms. Thanks for joining me. She gives me a big smile. My pleasure? You do not have to humor me. I know why you came seeking me in the first place. Her eyes narrow for a brief second. You should speak your mind with me. Can I really? It's not always safe to speak one's mind, though. Am I that dangerous? Yes, you can be. Am I horrible? Not really, but what? I don't actually know you. I can't properly decide that. You provide an excellent reason. I am sorry. Why are you? A number of things, but in particular this. Her face hovers mere inches from mine. Her eyes move from my own, roving down to my lips. Uh-oh. She lets her fingers brush against my cheek and across my lips. My heart pounds in my chest. She's gotta be disappointed when she realizes I don't have a dick. Taking hold of my chin, I tips it back to expose my neck. Hey, stop! Her mouth opens, close enough that I can feel her breath on my neck. She leans in and... Stop! Her gaze suddenly breaks from mine as she turns like lightning towards the voice. I stumble back and into the water. Fear overpowers me as the water closes over my face. I can't swim! Help! What a fucking tease. Yeah, it's the start of the game, they wouldn't do that, I guess. Water rushes into my mouth and I try not to choke. Weren't you just standing up? My arms flail around, I panic. Thankfully, my foot grazes across the soft pond bottom and I chase it until I reach something stable enough to stand on. Frantically wading through the water with all the strength I have, I manage to push myself onto the bank. Drowning in a bathtub. As the rushing in my ears finally starts to abide, I gradually become aware of the outside noise filtering into my senses. I turn and find they yell at each other in a language I do not understand. What the fuck is this? A language I do not understand indeed. Konoyaru! It is intentional, yeah. Okay. Chine. Okay, guys, I get it. You can speak Japanese. No! That gives off a strong burst of energy and knocks the monk into the trees. Well, fuck him. Kai has the monk off the ground in a single grip. Whatever the monk said seems to have angered I. He probably said something like, Your feet are so small, they look like fins. Her nails dig into the monk's neck. Trails of blood start to stream down. Ah. The monk struggles against her. Stop! My actions surprise me most. What? Why didn't I run away when I had the chance? Is I going to turn her anger on me now? What anger? Her looks at me with sadness in her eyes. She turns to the monk. Be eternally grateful I let you live. She releases the monk who falls to the floor, gasping. Turning to me, I lowers her hand and slithers my way. I instinctively fall to the floor on my knees and bow. Sorry for lying. There's no way she wouldn't despise me for going back on my word. What word? Lying about what? I'm too afraid to look up at her. I can only keep my face to the ground. Get yourself dried off. You hate the cold, after all. I pauses near me, but only moves on silently in the end. What did I lie about? Realizing the night has gone silent once more, I finally raise my head. Where is she? I don't see I anywhere. Wait, what about... My attention turns to the monk. He seems to have been staring at me this whole time. His hand is pressed to his neck, but as I look on, he drops it to reveal perfectly unmarked skin. Now one, huh? Arigatou gozaimasu. Eh? I'm sorry, but I don't understand. His smile widens. He sheepishly rubs the back of his head, then gives me a quick glance up, then down. Awfully tall, this fellow. He looks short. Ah, you come from the south. Wait a minute, did he just... Oh, yes, you can speak my language? Not very well. I humbly apologize should I be doing it an injustice. No. You're doing fine so far, actually. He seems to know way more than he lets on. I'm glad to hear. I'm being awfully rude. How should I address you, miss? The monk reaches out to offer his hand. I think we're gonna have a love triangle here. My gut instinct tells me this is the dick we need. I only stare for a moment, unsure if I should accept such a gesture from a stranger. But his smile seems sincere, and I do have the knife to protect myself. Too bad you're sleeping with the snake chick and you know it. I would rather have the snake chick. It's the wind tunnel. I don't know what that means. Accept his hand as he lifts me to my feet. My name is Lin. It's nice to meet you, Lin. You can call me Jinhai. His other hand comes to rest on top of mine, closing over it. Jinhai. I wonder what it means. Perfect. I do apologize about this sudden arrangement. It looks like I'll be stuck with you. What do you mean? Pull my hand back quickly. Now that I have found her, I cannot leave her alone. She's a danger to everyone. Could you explain? A long story. Plenty of time to explain later. For now, you need to get warmed up. I watch him make his way into the house. Guess I can no longer escape, huh? I scan the horizon and realize the fog has only gotten thicker. Actually, shouldn't I be afraid? The guy just announced he's living with us now? Hey, I'm not sure I want to return to the house. Hey, I started a fire here. Come on over. He's waving so enthusiastically. I can't help staring at the pond, still thinking about I. The glimmer shines twice from its depths. Maybe that's a good sign? Coming. My hand feels for the concealed blade. Still there. He eventually leads me past the kitchen, where I'm greeted by the warmth of a lighted hearth, and sheets waiting nearby. Someone made himself at home. All nice and warm. I relax my hold on the blade, breathing a sigh of relief. You can take off your clothes now. Please hang them here. Huh? He makes his way to the door, the ever-present smile unchanged. I'll give you your space, of course. It seems he easily picked up on my inability to relax. Again, I apologize for the intrusion into your home. If it's any consolation, I'm a woman, by the way. Oh. Oh! Oh, well then. It's all fucked. Again. Oh, eh? I'll be settling myself in one of the spare rooms. Please take your time. I wish you good night. Her smile softens up, but it doesn't quite reach her eyes. She shuts the door behind her. She looked sad. A look that was likely full of pity. As I take off my clothes and hang them to dry, my body shivers from the cold air. I hug my arms as if to reassure myself. It's going to be okay. Why didn't I run? I guess I fell asleep, though I'm usually not this aware of being in a dream. Where am I? I look up and notice some light shimmering through. The darkness dissipates unevenly, the scene brightening. Ah, I'm floating in water, huh? Wait, I'm sinking! My legs feel like lead. My throat grows tight as darkness crashes back in. want to scream, but no, I can't underwater. My arms thrash around trying to propel myself higher, but I only fall deeper. Panic overtakes me. I let out my last breath. Huh? My heart is racing. The pounding almost unbearable as I try to slow my breathing. Deep breaths, deep breaths. My hands cover my eyes. I really hate water. What is that? The sound gets louder, closer. My senses prickle, but I'm too afraid to look. It can't be I, right? She said she wouldn't enter without my permission. Another deep breath. 1, 2, 3. The fuck? A large, strange-looking bird is staring at me. I must be half asleep still. That must be it. That's a cock! It's exactly what we needed. I turn over and cover my whole self with a blanket. I'm just gonna keep on sleeping and maybe this dream will end. Turning over, I blink as my eyes adjust to the light. There really is a chicken in my room. The chicken flaps wildly, rearing backwards in surprise. It bumps around the room a couple times before finding the door open just a crack and darting through. Poor thing. Ah, there you are. What have you gotten yourself into? You had best get that creature under control, or I might find myself in need of a morning snack. Do not fret, she will stay outside. Out you go now. Someone closed my door? You seem to be in the living room area, huh? Well, they probably know I'm awake now. Time to get up. I dress quickly and stand near the door, fidgeting around the doorframe. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. A sigh escapes me. There's been too much excitement these days. It was like a dream or nightmare. Here I go. To my slight disappointment, eyes in her more intimidating snake form. Her gaze pierces into me, and I look away quickly, remembering to go down to my knees. That's unacceptable. The gaze that meets mine seems disappointed. I'm utterly sorry for upsetting you. I meant no disrespect. Was I too slow with waking up? As I said before, we shall be on equal ground. There will no longer be any of this groveling nonsense. Well, that's awfully nice of you. Shinhai appears at the kitchen door. There's not a single hint of malice in her tone. I look tense nonetheless. And here I thought you may have taken the hint to leave with your pet chicken. I'm not leaving, you know that. Shinhai winks an eye, annoying her further. Good morning, Lin. Hope you slept well. Good morning, Jinhai. And of course a blessed morning to you, Snake Goddess. Can't believe I forgot to greet her first. Snake Goddess, I must have missed the news. That can't be possible. Huh? Oh, how did you make that deduction? Quite a while has passed since I last saw you. I've gained abilities that a mere mortal can barely fathom. Indeed, all more reason that I am to stay with you. I tries to hide her annoyance and turns to me instead. Again, none of this goddess nonsense. Address me simply as I. And I shall do the same. I seems to be glaring daggers at Jinhai, who only smiles as if completely oblivious. We'll bring the rest of breakfast. Please, have a seat. Shinhai smiles at me before making her way into the kitchen. Looking over the table, I take in various pickled dishes and sides of vegetables. My mouth starts to water. Ai's tail sways back and forth as she stares at the dishes. Before I can ask anything, Jinhai returns, balancing a tray. Bowls of rice, soup, and a small teapot and 2 eggs. What's that for? Here we go, hope you both enjoy. Jinhai clasped her hands in a silent prayer. What the fuck? Weren't they just fighting? Is that because she got bit? I followed suit, catching eye, rolling her eyes from the corner of mine. We ate our meal in silence, the wonderful flavor serving as an extremely effective peacemaking method. Who are the eggs for? I has been eyeing the eggs this whole time. Ah, give me your rice bowl. Jinhai cracks an egg into the center of the barely eaten rice. She tips the small teapot with a few drops of dark liquid falling onto the egg, then mixes it all thoroughly, transforming the white egg rice into a rich gold. Transforming the white rice into a rich gold. Here you go, What is that? As I stare at her intently throughout the process, my words fall out unexpectedly. A dish from the northeast country. They call it Tamago Kake Gohan. Would you like to try it? It's a raw egg, right? My facial expression gives it all away. Yes, a bit of an acquired taste if you are accustomed to food prepared differently. Right. All of our food tends to be cooked thoroughly now that I think about it, though. It should be perfect for I, then. True, but perhaps she wishes to poison me. Why would you say that? That is why you are here, is it not? To kill me? You said that, not me. I'm here for other reasons. Come now, have a little faith in me and take a bite. I's tail twitches back and forth rapidly. Her figure is tense, all set and ready to attack Jinhai. I'll take a bite. They both stare at me. Oh, why did I say that? Jinhai breaks the tension with a large smile. Ai looks like she wants to protest, but I try to give her a reassuring smile. It'll be okay, after all, I did survive one meal already. Still, I can feel dread creeping in the longer I look at it. What was the dark sauce you used? I nervously pick up my chopsticks and dip into the bowl. The golden rice sits tenuously on my chopsticks. Soy sauce. I see. This dish does sound pretty simple. Seriously, why did I volunteer to eat this thing? What? It sounds delicious! My self-preservation instincts are rattling my stomach, but I've already given my word, so... I take a deep breath and quickly offload my chopsticks into my mouth. Huh? It's unexpectedly creamy and the flavor is milky with an almost frothy texture. Oh, that's not bad! Actually, I think I could come to like it. It slides smoothly down my throat as well. That's, indeed what she said. Hello, Hoban. How are you? It seems safe to me. With a big smile, I offer the bowl to Ai with both hands. You need not be so dramatic. Ai looks at it, then back at me with confused eyes. You will probably die, though. Huh? She will not! Jinhai seems exasperated by all this, but quickly regains her composure. She takes the bowl from me and picks up a spoon. Now then, it's your turn to eat, unless you want me to feed you myself. A smug look crosses Jinhai's face. Me? Fed from your head? Preposterous. Ai swipes the bowl from Jinhai's hand with her tail and holds it steadily. She's still looking at it like it's a live centipede in her coils as Jinhai pours me a cup of tea. Very well. Ai sniffs it cautiously. She takes a small bite, then another. Her mouth is stuffed within seconds. Splendid. Be sure to eat it with the pickled vegetables. Ai seems so caught up in the taste that she follows Jinhai's directions without any protest. Another. She thrusts the empty bowl at Jinhai, dropping it mid-air. Thankfully, Jinhai manages to catch it in time. It would be my pleasure. With the tension finally drained from the room, I peer curiously at my own meal. I don't have much cooking experience. but I'm pretty sure that I haven't seen most of these ingredients before. Despite that, the only thing I feel now is curiosity. Sweet, sour, salty, and tangy, the combined flavors make for a delightful experience. Before I know it, I've eaten the whole thing. Oh, all gone already. Why didn't I savor it? Thank you so much for the meal, it was delicious. You're absolutely welcome. How did you like it, Well, this meal was somewhat acceptable. There is one issue that is absolutely untenable. What is that? There is no meat in any of these dishes. You do remember that I am vegetarian. I also remember you when you had no hair. Look at you now. No hair? Junai's hair is short, yes, but I can't picture her as a bald monk. Ah, yes, this. I am in need of a haircut, now that you mention it. Shinhai glances upwards and tugs at her hair. That is beside the point. Things can change and evolve. Look at me. Shinhai barely glances at her, and her voice drops. Yes, I'm very surprised to see you in this form once again. Oh? She seems sort of, maybe not upset, but bothered. So it did make it far easier to find you. Shinhai pipes up, all traces gone of her previous mood. Huh, do not forget you are trespassing on my property. Now, it'll be like old times. We both know you've always enjoyed my company. Not particularly, I was just pitying you. Just what kind of relationship do they have? They go back and forth, bickering like old friends. It's such a sharp contrast to yesterday's, reunion. Now I believe you should be on your way. That I could do, but I would be honored to impose on you further for a spell. That is unacceptable. Jinhai eyes me for a second before she turns back to I. I can cook and will gladly assist with cleaning and housework. At this, I takes pause. Perhaps I'll gracefully allow you to be my guest, for now. Why, thank you. You are too generous. Still, we need meat. How about that chicken of yours for later? I is already smacking her lips. While it would be impossible for me to truly intervene between you and the meal, there is one caveat you should be aware of. What may that be? She produces eggs daily, in fact. Ai's mood changes as if entranced. Does she like eggs that much? I could never say it, especially not to Ai herself, but her reaction is kind of cute, like the village kids with sweets. Very well, the chicken may live. I leave suddenly and a burst of noise erupts from outside. She said she wouldn't eat it, but perhaps she's not above feasting with her eyes? What would she go out there so suddenly for anyway? The clink of dishes being stacked breaks me out of my train of thought. Oh, let me help with that. Don't worry about it, I'll handle it. She tries to grab my tray, but I dodge quickly. Thief reflexes do come in handy every now and then, I guess. No, I must insist on helping with the cleanup. I pull it even closer to me. I'm pleased to see you enjoyed the meal. Shinhai grips the other side and pulls it back towards her. Yeah, thank you for that. At least let me help with dishwashing. The tray is now being held in place by both of us. It's a total standstill. Riben. Jinhai suddenly breaks out and chuckles with a slight grin. Ah, I appreciate the thought. You've been raised well. Jinhai's hands abruptly stop on top of mine. My attention immediately focuses there. To my surprise, her hands feel soft and feminine. Well, of course there's no calluses. For some reason, I feel like I've been unconsciously thinking of her as more similar to the men in my village. The realization almost makes me flush in embarrassment. Sorry, Junai. Maybe it's because she seems so in control? She's gentle, yeah, but also authoritative somehow. The more I think, the more tangled up my train of thought becomes. Better just put it aside. If you insist, you can start helping me tomorrow. For now, please just relax and enjoy the day. She finally slides the tray from my grasp. Looks like I lost the tug of war. With a polite nod, she exits and closes the kitchen doors behind her. Ah, she got me. Now that I think about it, this sort of happened that one time with Anne's mom. The mere thought of him threatens to summon a headache. I really don't want to think about him at all right now. Ugh. Well, I'm all alone now, huh? There aren't a lot of things I can think of doing since Jinhai banished me from helping and I went somewhere. I should see what's going on outside. I wonder what it looks like outside during the day. Following the now familiar sound of chicken clucking, I find, I staring at Jinhai's chicken with extreme intensity. Uh-oh. Let's take a break. I do want to play more. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let me just confirm, yeah. There is a trophy list. Actually, 4 trophy lists? I guess my region isn't live yet. I have 4 trophies. Hmm. So Mizuchi is specifically a water dragon, I guess. I'm feeling really tired lately. Just need to sleep 8 hours straight. When does that happen last though? I is staring at Jinhai's chicken with extreme intensity. She didn't change her mind about eating it, I hope. But I only prods the chicken with a piece of greenery, talking to it imperiously. You better eat and get fat. Your egg-laying services are henceforth required for your own boarding. The chicken turns its head briefly and fixes eye with a beady stare before resuming its pecking at the ground. She's being ignored completely. At this, I fail to suppress my laughter entirely. I looks up in surprise before swiftly turning away. She seems embarrassed, but trying to hide it. Did you find the meal to your liking? Yeah, it was wonderful. That is good to hear. I glances at me a few times, but avoids meeting my eyes. I, feel that an apology is in order. Huh? For what? I should be the one apologizing. I waves her hand, signaling me to stop. I did not seek your advice nor approval about letting Jinhai reside with us. We presently share this residence after all. You should have been allowed to input on such affairs as well. Is she serious? I might as well play along. I don't mind it, to be honest, really. Is that so? You do not fear the idea of a stranger living in your home? Well, yeah, but Junhai isn't your typical stranger, I think. Because you seem familiar with her, I don't think you would have let her in at all if you thought she'd harm us. Do I have it about right? The grin takes at the corner of her lips, but quickly disappears. If that is what you believe, then the smiling fool may stay. Oh, so it's not just me who noticed that about Jinhai. Does she always smile? Ever since I've known her, yes, at times it can feel incredibly unnerving. But she seems genuine about it. That is why it disturbs me so. Humans are complicated, irrational beings after all. She turns back to the chicken, harassing it with a leafy stem. Enough about the fool. What are your plans for the day? Would you prefer to continue resting in your room? I'm not really sure. Around this time I'm usually already in the middle of work. Oh? And what were your duties? I helped with our family stand in the market, trying to sell any goods we had on hand. I see. You must be proficient at negotiation then. Not really. My siblings usually have to take over once a customer comes over. My job is basically just counting the money. Oh. Yeah. My apologies. I'm not well versed in the human custom of small talk. She's surprisingly quite self-conscious, isn't she? Well, that's okay. We can just enjoy each other's company. That is, if you'd be okay with me sticking around. Astonishment briefly fits over her face. It is at your own prerogative if you would like to remain in my presence. She gives me a small smirk before returning her slit-pupilled gaze to the chicken. It doesn't seem to have an iota of attention to spare for her. I can't tell if the bird is fearless or what. Maybe it's just not all that bright. Ai's monster form can be pretty intimidating even to me. Boredom seems to overtake her, and before long she's gazing at the pond. I unconsciously follow her line of focus, but just thinking about the water makes the hair on the back of my neck bristle uncomfortably. What are you afraid of? What do you mean? You exude a level of tension. Ice slithers into the water and slowly transforms into her mermaid form. Which, let's be honest, cute, but more normal. I prefer the monster form. Damn. Me, exude? I've noticed it before, but her style of speech can be pretty weird. She's distinctly unimpressed and levels me with a gaze that makes it very clear. Well, you might be right. I am always right. I beams at that, or at least she looks pretty pleased. Would you care to join me? No, I'm good, but thank you. I have to pause and consciously shove down the urge to apologize. I is looking rather solemn. It's not you, honest, it's just not into getting wet. That is quite a shame. It's such a lovely day for a swim. I'll take your word for it then. I'm sorry. I is now inspecting her reflection in the pond, admiring herself. Mind if I ask a question? You humans are quite forgetful. I must remind you once again to speak to me informally. Oops, I'll keep that in mind going forward. Let's see if she'll give me anything useful. How do you change forms like that? Because I can. Of course. The way she says it, so matter of fact, but my brain nearly accepts it as an explanation and stops there. Why do you change forms then? I'm a shapeshifter after all. What's the default? Then, does that mean you can shift it to anything you want? The question seems to annoy her a little, but she acts unaffected. I will admit there are some limitations to my abilities, including the physical limitations of each form. Not all are built for land travel, after all. She splashes water in my direction with her tail. I dodge out of the way here instinctively. I probably looked like the village fool, but at least the splash went completely wide. I chuckles. Her voice is slightly higher than usual. Though most importantly, in the other form, I feel very aggressive. I lack experience with that form, so perhaps I am simply unused to managing all the feelings that come with it. This part fish form provides me a higher level of serenity. In it, I am far calmer. Is the implication supposed to be that fish are serene? I've never thought about it, but I guess they do say auspiciousness and harmony come with eating fish. Does that also apply to being a fish? Though I suppose I can only take her word for it. Oh, that's really interesting. Is there a form you like being in the most? I fall silent and only gives me an enigmatic smile. Oops, did I get too casual with her? Perhaps someday I will show you. I nod along without thinking, feeling a bit like I'd just been gently rebuffed. Fear and curiosity swirls together. Will I be here that long? Or someday will I regret finding out? I dives into the water. It's somewhat difficult, but after some searching I catch a glimpse of her silvery scales glinting under the surface. So it's not a bathtub? We remain like that for a while, her underwater and me peering at the pond. Eventually, I get the feeling she's hiding from me, refusing to surface. She doesn't want to answer any more questions. Feelings about Ai aside, this garden is breathtaking. Might as well take a proper tour of it. As I make my way to the nearest stone structure, a splashing sound comes from the pond. There's nothing there when I turn to look, other than another small splish. I wander around aimlessly, checking out the scenery. I hear it again multiple times. Each time, nothing seems to be there, but that has got to be I. How about I pretend to be engrossed in a tree in front of me, but with my shoulder angled towards the pond? After waiting a bit, I sneak a quick glance. Yep, it's I. She's still mostly underwater, but is watching me just a little above the surface. Once she notices me looking, even that vanishes as she quickly submerges with a blink. You're so peculiar. Making my way back to the end of the pond, I plop myself down a little away from the water's edge. Hey, I! Can I ask you another question? I eventually resurfaces and stares at me. I thought I had already informed you that you need not seek permission. Well, it's more polite to ask first, especially if it might be kind of personal. Something you might not want to answer, so it's the usual to ask first. Is that so? An indirect warning, I see. She seems to be in deep thought over it. That's one way to look at it, I guess. You may proceed. Why does Jinhai want to be here with us? Ai pauses. Her eternally serene mermaid face doesn't reveal any inkling of what her thoughts might be. I believe she wants to kill me. Like on the first night? You aren't concerned about her leaving with us even though she might try to kill you? Not in such a brutish manner. It is more so that she wants to stop me. Stop you from what? She wants to stop me from being me. Sorry, but I don't get it. I want to exist. I want to live as how I choose to see myself. Oh, you mean your form changes? Yes. With each additional form, I become closer to reaching my full potential. At least this is what my instinct tells me. What does your full potential entail then? I stare, feels as if it's boring into me, like she's searching my soul. It's a bit unnerving, so I end up having to look away. In truth, even I have yet to find that out. What I do know is that the fool is trying to stop it all. If you see her as a potential danger, why do you let her stay so close? You can learn much from your enemies. As a famous strategist once said, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I thought I was unaware of human customs, but times like this remind me she seems to know more than she lets on. I see. I should also remember to keep caution in mind. Now it is my turn to ask you a question. Yeah? Are you my friend or my enemy? Sudden bewilderment. My body freezes on the spot. Think carefully. I am your... You need not answer. Consider it merely food for thought. A sigh of relief escapes into my breath. Again she's reminded me I can't let my guard down. I do know you would never attempt to kill me, so I have no intention of ever bringing you harm. You consider that a fair assessment and exchange? Yeah, of course. Then we have a deal. Ai goes back fully into the water, swimming so deep that I can't see her anymore. My legs collapse under me. The last bit of courage that was keeping me up seems to have departed along with Ai. Taking a deep breath, I let it out as a long sigh. How frightening the mood changed so quickly. You should keep in mind how inhuman she is at times. Although, is she correct in asking? I can't even tell what I am to her, or what she wants with me. Babies aside, if she was serious about that. Why are those the only options? Is there no middle ground? I just don't know anything about you. My arms wrap around my legs, with my chin resting on my knees. I'm never getting out of here, am I? The thought makes me homesick again. Maybe she can help me. I decide to check out the rooms. I make my way to the hearth, which has been brought back to life. The fire's glow bathes the room in an enticing warmth. So then this room is at the center. I pass through it and down the inner hallway, poking my head into doors I happen to walk by. Storage rooms full of random furniture. Another filled with scrolls and tapestries. One of the rooms has a large set of double doors. Curiously, I am unable to open it. Strange. Maybe it's locked from the inside. The door itself, with the sight, doesn't strike me at all as out of the ordinary. Eventually I've meandered all the way down the hall, where yet another room awaits at the end. The door slides open easily with a light push, revealing a small study room. Books and scrolls line the shelves along the wall. Across the room is another door that leads to the outside walkway. I can see another side of the garden beyond it. I don't think someone like me belongs in here. Does she know how to read? A fairly sizable wooden box sits in the middle of the room. Seems kinda out of place with everything else in this room. Curiosity overtakes caution and I inspect it more closely. My investigation reveals straps on one side. A backpack, perhaps. Did Jinhai bring this? I don't remember her having this when we first met. The only explanation I can think of is that she brought it sometime overnight. Seems pretty heavy to carry around silently, though. Despite knowing better, curiosity gets the best of me. This chest's clasp turns with ease. What greets me inside is a carefully organized array of little drawers. Well, what's all this? Pulling one of the drawers out, the strong telltale smell of dried herbs blasts me at the same time I see it. A shadow stands at the doorway. Jinhai! I'm sorry, I'm not a thief, I swear! Purely on reflex, I back far away from the chest and into an apologetic yield. I'm not sure what level of scolding I'm expecting, but I brace myself regardless. Please, no need for that. Swiftly she makes her way across the room and places her hand on my shoulder. There's nothing to fear. Come, would you like a cup? A cup? Our eyes meet and Jinhai smiles curiously. She'd been carrying a pot of tea when she came in and now pours some into a small cup. This is made with chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum? Please have some. She takes my hand and places the cup into it. Then opening one of the drawers, she takes out a second clay cup and tops it off with another serving of the same tea. My heart rate has yet to go down. If anything, it seems to increase while she bustles around with niceties. When is she going to yell at me? Instead, she only gazes at the scenery outside through the crack in the door. It's quite a beautiful day today, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Is she really not mad at me? She opens the door wider for a clearer view. Honestly, it is a beautiful garden. Jinhai closes her eyes, breathing in the scent of tea before taking a sip. She smiles. By chance you didn't happen to eat anything in there? No, I didn't take anything. I just took a look, honest. Oh, wonderful. This chest is full of herbs and medicine I've collected over the years. I asked only to make sure you hadn't poisoned yourself on the off chance you ingested any. What do you mean by poison? Sometimes the only difference between medicine and poison is the amount you ingest. She slides out another drawer and pulls out a small pouch. Something small is picked out and placed in my hand. This is competo, a gift I received. Is this medicine or poison? Nothing like that. Seeing her laugh eases my nerves. I hold it between my finger and thumb, peering curiously. It kinda looks like a star. It does, doesn't it? What do I do with it? For this one, you can eat it. She takes out another one and pops it into her mouth, followed by a sip of tea. I follow her example and place mine, albeit more slowly, into my mouth as well. It gives a warm sensation as it slowly melts. It's really sweet. Actually, it's almost intolerably sweet, like a fruit on the verge of being overripe. It certainly is. Sometimes even I use it in my cooking. I use it. I can't read. It's a shame when you want to read and are illiterate. Oh, so it's a cooking ingredient? Well, I think it's originally a candy or snack. No, I find it useful in a variety of ways. We seem to enjoy the moment with tea and silence. If our stuff is sitting here, then... Did you sleep here? Yes, I found this little library and study quite cozy and suitable to my needs. I also didn't want to be in anyone's way with my intrusion. Isn't there another bedroom somewhere around here? I mean, we can always prepare another room. Wait, what am I thinking? You see, so you really are staying here. Yes, as I mentioned before, I can no longer leave her alone. And here we are, back at the real mystery of this arrangement. What is your relation to I? Straight to the point, I see. Sorry for my rudeness. Not at all, I should be the one to apologize. I am unable to tell you much, however. If anything, the less you know about her, the better. Oh, I see. What are they hiding from me? Regardless, I don't believe you'll be staying here much longer. Huh? What do you mean? My goal is to help you get away from this place, after all. Me? Leave here? I will do everything in my power to help you escape. Escape? Yes, you are being held here against your wishes, is this correct? Well, yes, sorta. Technically. You can go home. I don't want to go home. Patience, though. Fighting your way out against Aya would be a fruitless endeavor. Oh. That's pretty true, huh? Perhaps with some coercion she will let you go in time. No need to fret. You'll be freed one way or another. I see. Is she being serious? I notice she gives a more solemn smile than her other ones. Would you mind if I would like to check something on your person? What do you mean? Where she bit you? Reflexively, my hands fly to my throat. How does she know about that? For her to be able to change forms, she needs a blood source from someone. I can only assume it was you. And is that why I attacked me? Oh, I see. Trying to remain calm only causes my hands to tremble. She was using me after all. I will not harm you, I promise. I only wish to look at the site. I'm curious enough about what she might find that it overcomes my fear of the same. Very well. My neck is exposed as I look in the opposite direction. Her fingers gently pull my collar aside. She doesn't say anything to me as she inspects. Instead, she turns aside to rummage through her drawers. What did you find? No obvious marks or scars. However, there is a small indicator of what she did. She pulls out a small circular object and hands it to me. Oh, a mirror. Take a look. Angling to see what she meant, my neck comes into view. I can't really tell in the mirror, so instead I try feeling around the area based on memory. 2 little moles seem to have grown where I bit me. I never realized. It's very subtle indeed. I believe given time it'll fade on its own. How do you know? Based on my experience over the time I've known her. I suddenly realize that I've been playing with the mirror while we talk, so I quickly try to return it to Jinhai. But she raises her hand and waves me off. Keep it. Oh, I cannot. Please feel free. I've no use for it. It's sat untouched in my drawer for quite a long time. She turns away as if the matter has been settled. It is a beautiful mirror. I feel almost guilty keeping it. Mind me asking how you got it? At times I receive gifts of gratitude from individuals I've helped. How do you help them? What do you think? She gives me one of her misleading smiles. Is she playing with me? I'll play along, I suppose. I try to give her a thorough study while also trying not to stare. Her yellow sash seems to stick out the most to me as the most obvious clue. Prayer? Should they request it? Yes, I decline gifts in those cases, though. And then my eyes wander the room before resting on the chest. Reading them? You are correct. It's a lot more difficult to refuse at times. I do not wish to insult them by refusing their gratitude. She takes a sip of tea and her eyes seem glued to the cup. More often than not, I give them away, to those that want it or need it more than I ever could. Oh, that's really kind of you. She just shrugs at me. Doesn't like compliments, huh? Since we'll be leaving together for a spell, could you tell me a little about yourself? Having had the situation switched to me, my non-response makes it feel like silence has enveloped the room. As I mull over how to respond, the hairs on my neck prickle. I still can't get over everything that happened, and in such a short amount of time at that. To be honest, I'm not sure I'm ready to share that. I'm still trying to process it myself. She pours me another cup of tea. I am originally from the north. Most of my early life was spent in a monastery. I've since been traveling around to many different places on this side of the world. Her voice drops almost to a whisper. Though I guess I'm still the child of a monastery at heart. I still managed to study at a number of temples along the way. Is she still talking to me? She seems to be deep in thought as she stares out at the garden. Eventually she turns to me and starts to apologize. Forgive my distraction. Continue during that time I learned from my many teachers about different medicinal herbs, and I learned the languages of places I went. I want to better understand and help people. She's practically a saint. That's kind of nuts. That's very noble of you. Nothing like that. I am only repenting for my mistakes. Mistakes? I apologize, but perhaps we shall continue another day. This room needs a bit more tidying up. Oh, I can help if you'd like. No, I don't want to trouble you. You to trouble yourself with all the dust. You also said you'd help me starting tomorrow. Yeah, I did say that. So for today, you should take things at your leisure. She places something in my hand and leads me to the door with that ever-present smile. It's the candy pouch. I can't take this. Despite my protesting, she silences me with a finger to my lips. Please enjoy it. Unable to say no to her further, I bow respectfully before making my way back to my room. Behind me, her door slides closed and the sound of mild mayhem occasionally drifts from inside. Honestly, who is this guest? Familiarized myself with the house, but now, in the complete absence of the usual bustle, the realization suddenly hits me. I really am alone now. Despite consciously being aware of my situation, I'm somehow still expecting things. The busy sounds of daily chores, my siblings laughing and chatting, lively noise drifting through the windows. Before now, I didn't realize how much I took those everyday things for granted. The only sound at the moment is the small waterfall burbling in the garden pond. In the absence of what I'm so accustomed to, an almost smothering feeling creeps in. Alone in this room with only my uneasy thoughts for company, the silence itself is deafening. I can't run away, and even if I could, there isn't even anywhere I can go from here. Still, I'm calm. This is some unusual mix of bravery and stupidity you've got, huh, Lynn? I'm trapped, somewhere, but I've got my own room, and clothes are hand-me-downs, and 2 meals a day. Kind of fancy ones at that. If she's telling the truth, I don't even have to do anything at all. Well, it's not bad, I guess. At least it could be much worse, all things considered. I should just make the best of it. Bide my time until I can find a way out. Sorry, Mom. I'll return home as soon as I can. Definitely not. Alright, I think I'm satisfied for now. Okay. No. Is there 2 versions? Wait, what happened? Where did these 2 come from? I don't love them with no background, but sure. No character gallery yet. Okay. Well, you'll die. I don't want to quit yet. But He sees something else. Let's change games. I'll be right back.